brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on and behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. Come to live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we do tactical quizzes once in a while. So this is one of those nights. You've showed up on the tactical quiz night, so you can win fabulous prizes. Prizes which have never been coughed on, or I'm never going to say never coughed on, but they haven't been coughed on by anybody on the other side of the ocean in a long, long time. Or they were made here, in which case no one ever coughed on. So you all showing up tonight. Looks like we got a fabulous four joining us at the beginning of the show. Voss. Grab him by the stacking clip. Is that a real thing? And then we got John Z. I have a short mustache. Okay. So if you're out there and we don't see you, then we don't know you're out there. So you might as well not be out there. So if you're going to be part of the conversation, we invite you to do so, and you do that by typing things with your thumb or with your finger. All right, plug my phone back in. I'm going to go back over to what I thought was pretty interesting phenomenon happening right now. I don't know if this is happening by you or not. There's ETP. Good evening. All right, so how's the audio? I always want to ask because the way this microphone is. And mainly, could you hear the beginning of the show? Because I'm about to go back to the phone here for some audio. So I'm outside trying to mind my business while a little dog over here goes potty. And I hear this. And let me know if this is something that's happening in your neck of the woods. All right, that was 52 seconds of it, but I guess you're not hearing it. This microphone's not letting you hear that. Or could you hear it? Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of crotch rockets out there hauling ass on the empty streets. So out here, I live in Tucson, which has a whole bunch of places since I've lived out here, and I'm guessing it's been this way for a long time, where urban sprawl or suburban sprawl reaches out and creates a bunch of subdivisions, and then investors back out or something happens, markets change, and they put out a bunch of streets and then they never build anything out there. So what happens in Arizona when you put out streets and you don't do nothing with them is they just sit there. Nothing happens to them. Up north, that would fall apart, right? With snow and rain and everything, but nothing happens to them out here. That's why they built so many airports out here. So motorcycles and cars that aren't like 2 inches off the ground, they love the streets out here, especially in these areas. And there's a couple of places, depending on what part of town you're in, where they built pretty big main roads out to the middle of nowhere, sort of. And for years, those were the drag strips and the racetracks. So there aren't so many of those anymore because they have built houses during the various housing booms and market, blah, 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 and whatever. But right now, they got any street they want. And our streets are relatively smooth. I've driven a couple of streets so far in the last couple of years. And yeah, Arizona has okay streets. We're not great because we don't have a lot of money for streets. So they are falling apart. But it takes a while for them to fall apart. And a lot of them are pretty decent. And these guys are hauling ass. So I was just out there realizing that they weren't, like sometimes you hear them haul ass from like over there to over there, like on their way home or something, but they don't ever get a straightaway, right? And they never get a chance when cops aren't out there. So they're out there just tearing it up. And I live sort of like on the edge of town, I guess, or I don't know. It's not really the edge of town, but I live near the edge of a bunch of shit that nobody wants to be by. So there's a bunch of big empty streets. It's like if you live next to the junkyard, it'd be about equivalent to that. Oh, I guess I could go over here and click on these things. So I guess you didn't really hear it, but basically I turned my audio on there so that you could try to hear the motorcycles. I think it was a motorcycle or some kind of little car. Yeah, okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about the video that went up on the YouTube. So I got a hell of a lot of shit going on right now. I'm just going to leave it on the screen and try and, I don't think anything has anybody's addresses on it, but I got too many things to close it all. So I'm just going to go up to here. We're going to go look at that video first. So we're going to go look at the video first, and then I think it's only like 2 minutes, and then we'll dig into the tactical quiz challenge right now. So I just posted a video. 42 people already seen that video, and that's more people that'll show up here tonight probably. Oh, actually, we did that the other day, and well, anyway, we did that the other day. I think Veronica could eat one, right? And anyhow, so we're gonna watch this video. And I don't think I was gonna think maybe I should do another contest, but I'm not gonna do 2 contests in one night. That'd be crazy. You're fucking crazy. Is that a census ad? Dang it, I feel bad that I fast forwarded a census ad. I didn't even know you could fast forward ads. It's pretty cool.
All right, the next step.
Oh, I fast forwarded the whole video.
In America, we all count, no matter where we call home, how we worship.
We're supposed to hate each other. 3-minute video.
Next up in our Guns R series, language. One of the topics it started this series to do. So I use it as an excuse to dig into Minuteman University and add a couple of sections under skills, under communication, called it Guns in Language. And as I did research, I found that it breaks down to phrases, so a couple of words that focus on or relate to firearms that are in general use in our vocabulary. Then we've got expressions, so more like sentences, more than just a couple of words focused on firearms. Lots of those out there. Idioms, so things that don't have anything to do with guns but mean guns. Something like Chicago typewriter, I think would be an example of that. And then synonyms, other names for guns like gat, heater, things like that. Then we've got quotes. I didn't dig into all of these, but I started to break it down. But I did start digging into phrases. And as I searched around, you'll see them scrolling by in the bottom of the screen here. As I searched around, I found about 200 of them. I started digging into articles, and as I got deeper and deeper into the search results, the frequency of finding new ones started to diminish to the point where I think I've got pretty much all of them at about 200. But please, if you know of any that I'm missing in the list, let us know, and we'll definitely include them. That's one of the things we'll do with this series. I didn't even think about it, but originally, but it could be used to gather. So let's try to gather whatever gun phrases are out there so that we can keep track of them. Now, the point of this series is to offer ideas or suggestions for conversations out there, getting in real life or online. So looking at the 200 gun phrases that we can come up with, there's all different ways to group those or filter them out and have conversations or discussions about them. When I did the research, I found lots of polarization out there. For example, I think a good example is a gun prohibitionist article was talking about an assault weapons ban, and they were concerned about using the word ban, completely oblivious to assault weapon part of it. You know, words created by Nazis, and they're either regurgitating those words oblivious to that fact or fully aware of that fact. And again, either aware of how that's going to put the opposition, gun owners, or unaware of it. And, those kind of things, once we shed light on that, maybe they'll make this more effective in our conversations. Let us know. We'd like to thank our Patreons for the opportunity to do projects like this. And we look forward to the comments out there on GunStreamer or GunTube, wherever else you find the video. As always, thanks for watching.
The guys and gals of Gun website.
All right. So, yeah, that's the challenge. So there's 183. That works again. There's 183 of them over here. And if you can come up with one that ain't in the list, then you could win a free patch. Or I guess earn a free patch. It's not even winning, it's earning. So you have to do work. Top Gun isn't in the list? You kidding me? Damn it. That was a typo, though. Who got that one? Oh, I can't even find it now, so. All right, I'll put my songs back over here. My non-attribution royalty attribution not required royalty-free music from YouTube. That sounds just like Chicago. Gizzard, dang it. All right, that works. So Gizzard gets free patch. Dang it. Being WordPress, all I got to do is click on edit and then go down there. Super lazy, so I'll just go over here. Where was the video? I'll go over here. Over here. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one too. Dang, that was good. Right here, right? Says that. All right, so then update. Now it's in. All right, so I guess there'll only be one patch going out today, and that'd be that one. So Flash in the Pan, that one's gotta be in here. Flash in the Pan is right here. No dice. Oh, we're gonna go back over here. So alphabetical order. What? Flash in the Pan? Yep, Flash in the Pan right there. Shooting blanks, that's gotta be in here. Shoot blanks, same thing. So yes, it's in there. Plus they got shoot in blanks, so yeah. Lost my wrench. Nope, that's not one. Squirt gun is because that's not even a thing. Maybe Orchid is. Like friend of a squirt gun instead of a son of a gun, something like that. So yeah, so we got all kinds of them, and I think this is a neat one. Get somebody in here who knows about words or whatever, and then some of these things are neat. Stacking the clip, grabbing someone by stacking the clip is a saying. I've heard of stacking the deck. You mean like stacking the deck? Anybody else heard of this Foss one? What is he saying? I gotta go over here. Grabbing someone by the stacking clip is a saying. Here's the thing. Sometimes things that sound like gun ones aren't. I think there's one that is something different that sounds like it, but it has nothing to do with it. Grabbing somebody by the stacking clip, maybe. Come on. That's my mouse not working. Stacking clips indicates that they are part of same movement. I think that has to do with video clips. I don't know. Gonna have to explain that one further, I think. Short fuse. We gotta have short fuse on here. Yeah. Hey, do you look at this list here? Let me give you the link over here. 14 people out there. We've only had like 3 guesses, but we already got 1 patch going out. That'll be the only patch. There was only 1 typo mistake. Gary figured it out. We put that out there to prime the pump. It's like in Carnival. We got that 1 easy thing. All the rest of them are tougher. So let's see. I think most of them I had heard of before. A couple of them were a little weird. Like so-and-so is a real pistol. I don't really say that no more. We used to. All guns blazing. Bob says a lot of these things a lot, probably. He's out there. And 1 thumb, that's for us. I don't think regular people know what the hell that is. It is a 1 for us, though. I'm going to put it in there, but I don't know. No, I don't know. It's kind of jargon. Oh, snap. But I'll give you credit because I am putting freaking jargon in here and nomenclature. Snap. So that's even a bonus. Now that gave me an idea to put in 2 pages. So while y'all are coming up with ideas, you're going to watch me build WordPress. Is the software that you run on what is a software that you can run on a website. It's free. It's open source. A lot of people contribute to it. It's been around for a long time. It's very powerful, very adaptive. It can be manipulated to be anything. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a good way to go. WordPress is a bunch of pages, it's a bunch of posts organized by pages. So I'm going to add some more pages right now. So I'm going to add another page and call it, however the hell you spell nomenclature. Look at that. I don't spell words. And then I will put that over here under communication and under guns and language. And I'm going to give it my sidebar template. And I'll hit publish. And then one day in the future, I'll work on that. And then you got to have, I'll at some point have a glossary too, but I think that one will be neat because that's definitely a subject that gun owners either don't care at all about or have some kind of weird conniption about. So we'll go back to phrases for now. So as far as them 1 thumb, I'm throwing that over under, what did I call it before? Nomenclature and then jargon. I may be under jargon. Let's go figure out what the hell jargon is. Special words that are used by a profession or a group that are difficult for others to understand. I think we figured it out. So we're going to throw jargon in here as another page. And I think I can spell it. And you'll get the first one going in there. Flip that over to bullet point. Boom. And then we'll go over here and special noun, special word, blah, blah, blah. Legal jargon. Over here, add another, whatever the hell they call these little plug-in pieces, and then post that in there. And because of the way it is, it crammed this up here separate. We'll just do that, and then we'll add a little line, and then we have to go over here, tell it we want that to sample it again, and tell it we want it to be basically the same place, underneath guns in language. And then we'll hit publish and publish. Now those pages exist, and we put them in a structure underneath of guns in language, but that's just how they're going to show up in here. When I click on show me all my pages, it's just going to, that's the order they're going to show up in here. When we go to the website, it don't care. We haven't told the website what to display or what to do yet. So we're going to go to menus, and we're going to go to those 2 that we just added, jargon and nomenclature, and we're going to add them to the menu. And we got to drag them way the hell up there so it's easier to shift them like this. And then I'm going to go up to communication, guns and language, and I'll put them there for now, but now I can pull this guy out and give him his own. So I think I'm going to put those underneath the quotes just for now. So now that I save that menu, when we go back to the main page, someone's going to go to skills, communication, guns and language, and now they've got jargon and nomenclature. Or if they just look over on the side here, It's obviously right here now. So it's real easily they can find it now. Anyway, so that's cool. Thanks for that. Go back to phrases though and see where we're at over here. Go nuclear. I didn't put too many things about like cannon. Like there is cannon fodder and there's some stuff about wicks because cannons are guns, I guess. But I don't think I put in too many of like once they get into like artillery and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say nuclear stuff and atomic bomb. I don't have anything here about atomic bomb, I don't think. No, I mean I already did this list, so I guess I could add a larger one at some point. But really this is all of an effort to get 2A and hopefully to give some people some idea. People are like, I don't know what to do a bunch of videos about. Well, for 183 days you could talk about one gun thing, one gun phrase, or you could add a gun phrase to the end of your video or something. And for the next 183 videos, you'd have something unique at the end of your video. How did I get 160,000 subs? One of the ways is, I think it was 176,000 subs when it was at the top. One of the ways is to have a quote at the end of the video. People would stick around a shitty video because maybe they wanted to see what quote I would stick at the end of the time or something like that. So maybe if you put a gun phrase at the end, that could be interesting. Am I still there? What's going on? All right. See, even this new computer isn't that good. It still freezes every once in a while. Rapid fire. That's gotta be in here. Oh, snap. Who got that one? DTP. I gotta make a list now. Oh, shit. Okay, good. Just noticed I got a bad thing open over here. You don't want to see that. A bunch of people's addresses and shit. What are we doing? Let's close this also. And then I'm going to put this, I guess, in an email. Email to myself. I have an email open over here somewhere now. So we're calling this DGS. What is it? 100,048. And we got Gary, window patch. Now we got DTP. Give himself a patch. And then Gary, oh, one doesn't work. So that's, if I would have not paid attention, you would have got 0 because no one doesn't work. But, all right, so now we're going over here and it's rapid fire. Now, my question is for rapid fire. Are you just throwing them out there, a la Chris, or are you going over and looking at the list and seeing what's not there? Same thing to Gary. Rapid fire. Nice. And but here's what's happening. When you're finding ones that ain't on this list, I found a lot of lists. Not a lot of lists. I found like 3 or 4 lists. There's not that many lists. There's actually kind of interesting that there's not that many lists. But of the lists that are out there, this is an accumulation of all of them plus. So you guys are coming up with ones that a whole bunch of people missed. Smoke pole. Is that a thing? It's like a weird sex thing, isn't it? I'm gonna look and see what the internet says. If it's some weird sex thing, I ain't the vertical pole of a teepee, a ridge pole, a long stick or pole, a firearm, burning tip used to repel insects. I'm going to Urban Dictionary. See what it says. Black powder rifle, especially a muzzleloader, boomstick. Grab your smoke pole and powder flask. We're heading into Pennsylvania. It's black powder season. You want to smoke my pole? See, right there. It starts getting weird. Anonymous back in 2003 is the first time some weirdo said that on the internet. Mostly big what? A very hard punch to the face. What? I never heard of that. People put crap into Urban Dictionary. But there's also some badass awesome shit on Urban Dictionary. For example, if you type in good stuff in Urban Dictionary. So only the best are in Urban Dictionary. Alright, so yikes. Let's go back to here. And be careful because I got all kinds of shit open over there. I'm putting smoke hole in there, I guess. So Southpaw now got one. And then I have to go over here and turn off my Chinese water torture that I now realize I have going on behind me. Guess it goes here. We put a parentheses, but not the weird gate, not the weird sex one. And then I'm going to go look at Boomstick and see if it's in here. It isn't, but nobody gets Boomstick because I found Boomstick on my own looking at that other one. So nobody gets to put that one in here. Boomstick. You know where Boomstick comes from? I wonder if it told us over there. And now I gotta go turn off the Chinese water charger. Smoke hole. Yep, that's where we are at. Fight fire with fire. That's got to be in here. Holy crap. It's not in here. Let me find out if that's guns or though. I'm not trying to screw you out of these things, but that one might not be guns. But I think it is. You say origin maybe? Respond and attack using as simple as fight fire where to employ similar methods we would normally do. Blah blah blah. Threaten the threatener. Threaten the threatener and outface the bro of bragging horror. This is what I want y'all to start practicing more often. Just be the better man. Outface the bro of bragging horror. Let's see. I had some. Dang it, that doesn't help at all. The first use of it is this guy talking about in 1852. Smoking was universal among the men, generally cigars, not fine Havanas, but of Dutch tobacco, and to me, not very agreeable. I had some Havanas with me, so I lighted one to make an atmosphere for myself, as the trappers on the prairies fight fire with fire, so I fought tobacco with tobacco. It literally is super vague, if he means guns or if he means like an actual backfire. So I guess this isn't helpful at all. Well, I'll put it in there if I don't, because I think most people would think it's probably a gun thing, right? All right, so now you got two. Everybody else has. Wait, you aren't even in here yet. This is your first one. were you just ringing, right? Were you just bringing them out here, or did you come up with that one? Because it wasn't on the list. There, now that one's updated. Now it's in. Block leg syndrome. Is that when your leg is perfect? Stacking clicks, stacking swivel, stacking ring. Grab someone by the stacking swivel and grab them front of the collar. Marine phrase. We got Marines out there. We'll see. We'll see if this is a Marine phrase. I don't know what Marines say to each other. A lot of times they just nod and sort of wiggle their eyebrows at each other. I don't know what they say when they're behind doors. What did he do? What's John doing out here? Is he doing something? Okay, you can take that off the screen. What did he say? Oh, I must have locked on the screen earlier. Not paying attention. Booger hook. I don't use that one. This one, dude, that chain fire. Holy moly, that one's not in here? Huh, you got another one. No, you weren't on here yet, so you don't even have one yet. Damn it, I don't have this many patches. Let's see. All right. I'll ask the same question. If you're looking at the list or if you're just throwing them out there. This one may be under, what is it? Jargon. But I don't personally use it. But it might be under jargon. Faster than a speeding bullet. That might be an expression. I think that's an expression. In fact, it's already in here. So good, but no. It's too many words. That's all it is. There's really no difference between I'm no wordist. I'm only an amateur wordist. But from my word discoveries, a phrase is a couple of words, and an expression is a couple more words that ain't a sentence yet. So there ain't much of a difference. So I took the ones that were can't hit the broadside of a barn. That ain't quite a sentence because you usually got to say something you can't or something. But you know, like that, like freeze the balls off a brass monkey. That's just too much for a phrase anymore, right? Can't shoot to, or don't shoot to see the whites of their eyes. I'm calling those expressions. So that's where I stuck fish in a barrel and faster than a speeding bullet. So, hey, if you don't like it, I encourage you to build your own set, and then we'll have a war of gun phrases, and that would be interesting. So DTP is looking at the list. Gary looked at the list, have it open another tab. He's using the technology of tabs. A lot of you people don't even know what tabs are. Probably living in the dark ages of separate windows or even one screen, and I don't know what the hell you do. Turn off your computer every time you want to look at another page. People, get a room. Go to other people's chats if you just want to sit around talking to each other. Hog it up for the rest of us. Try and make money over here. And win patches. Oh, what the hell? Full tilt boogie? That has nothing to do with guns, does it? Skin that smoke wagon. I got smoke wagon. I thought. No, we don't even have smoke wagon. I don't know about skin that smoke wagon. Would you call that an expression? I'm gonna put smoke wagon in here. I'm gonna put smoke wagon in as one. Come on, go down here. Smoke wagon. And then well, maybe I should put whose thing it was to over here. Um, and then I think I'm going to take Skin That Smoke Wagon and put that under expression. I don't know. Let me see what the internet says it is. What do y'all think this one is? It's a phrase. Yeah, it's a phrase, I guess. Slang. Doesn't say what it is. It just says quotation. I don't know what the hell to call that. Is it from the Old West? Why don't you go over there? Then I can just use these last two tabs. I don't know if I should stick it in here. It just seems like too many words. Skin That Smoke Wagon. I guess some of these are long enough. I'm going to put it in here. It's not really, well, an expression I would think like, means something. A phrase is more like you're saying it to somebody, like do that, like, right? Expression, you're not like, you're not going to talk about that one time you skinned a smoke wagon. So I'll put it in here. H-I. Right. I don't know what he took out of there. He took something out of there. Shoot, fishing apparel is already on that other one. We just went through that one. Lead sprayer. I don't think I have it in here. Spraying lead would be a thing for sure. I think that one's in here. No, it's not in here. So I'm definitely going to put spraying lead in here. And then Southpaw, so that's 2 for Southpaw. And then, so I'm going to copy that and put that here. That's weird. Right, whatever. And then lead sprayer. Is that really a thing? Is anyone ever going around calling anybody a lead sprayer? Or called somebody like, hey, that guy's a real lead sprayer. Yeah, there's actually a thing for spraying lead. That's effed up. Like, hey, if you need to poison a ton of people, here's how you spray lead all around. Sick of kids playing in your yard? Spray this all around. Comes in a freaking spray can. They'll think you're spraying bug poison when really it's just fine mist of lead. What the hell is that? It's disgusting. I ain't putting that in there. That doesn't even look like a gun thing. That looks like something somebody that's horrible we put on their lawn. Magnum Force? It's the name of a movie. Is that a real phrase? Did somebody actually say that ever? Magnum Force. I'm going to type it in here. If it comes up as a phrase, we'll think about it. And it's never like I've ever said to somebody, like, how much force should I apply? And they've replied, Magnum Force. I don't think that's a phrase, dude. It's a movie. Maybe they say things differently in New York. Don't forget to outface the bro of bragging horror later on tonight. Hey, there's New York Outcast out there. Howdy. Got a lemon. Or no, it's a hand. 2 lemons. You two get a room. You're both in New York. Suppressing fire. Let's talk about that one. That's a real word. Suppressing fire. Oh, that's not in here. So that was Foss again. So it's 2. Oh, look, your 1 didn't show up before, so it's a good thing you said another one or you wouldn't have got nothing. Because I just had an empty spot next to you. And that was suppressing fire. Pretty good. Sure shooting. He's got 2. He's being a tech driver tonight. I'll hit update. Fighting fire with fire means backburning to stop a fire, not originally gun term. That's what I'm thinking. And that's, well, I looked it up on that thing, though. I looked it up on some internet site that knows everything. And it said that the first time it was used was with that tobacco, which could easily imply that. But I know it actually, it said the first time it was used meant force with force. But when were guns invented? When did they start using guns? Because force with force could have meant freaking cavalries, cavalries with swords against each other. So that's why, I don't know. However, that's the origin of it. Nowadays, I think if you went up to 100 people on the street in the after times, not during the chaos, and said, what does fighting fire with fire mean? They're going to say it means shooting at each other. I'm almost positive most people think shooting each other. Maybe we're warped, in which case somebody can go around. Here's how you figure out. You're like, how the hell do I figure out? Am I going to sit here and count them like a sucker? Like, how am I going to figure out? There's no way to figure out how many I've added. Like, you'd have to be a genius to figure out how many I've added. Or you could click it to numbers instead of dots, go to the bottom, and it's 192. And then flip it back to dots and go up here and act like you spent a lot of time typing that in or counting them. So there are 192 phrases so far. We've come up with quite a bunch extras. So appreciate that. You're patch raping me. You're going to be patch poor by the end of this chat. I'll have a pretty big list, though. I'll have the largest gun phrase list on the internet. I'll have no more patches on the patch panel. Dual wielding. Another one there. So that's what we're talking about. Where the hell? Dual wielding. Yeah, I think a lot of people dual wield stuff now, and it really probably doesn't have anything to do with guns, but I'm still putting it in there. It's probably from swords. I'm almost positive it's from swords, and swords predate guns by weeks. The guy who made swords told the guy who made guns about them, and then that guy made guns. I came up with it and saw it wasn't on the list. Faster than a speeding bullet isn't on the list either. So did M1 Thumb. No, M1 Thumb counted as you got to claim that you created another whole facet of the website, but you didn't get any free patch for that. No. I stole that one from you. Lock leg syndrome was coined when cops shot themselves in the leg. I call that cop finger syndrome. Usually while reloading. How the hell do you shoot yourself in the leg while reloading? What are you doing while you're reloading with your leg that gets in the way of a gun? Really? I mean, reholstering, I think you mean. Reloading, you're sticking your gun up in the air, hopefully. Bang on? Bang on. That's like a Europe thing, isn't it? Are you saying list colon like that's part of it? Hang on. British informal, to talk repeatedly or consistently about something, usually used with about I love fatherhood. I could bang on about kids forever. Does it mean to bang drugs? Is this a drug thing? Marijuana or tobacco cigarettes laced with cocaine. What? I never even knew that bang on was a drug. So like go on or whatever. I don't know. It's European. It's very European. It's a very metric answer. I have to go no on that one. I'll take some input from the audience here. How many people are watching? 15 people watching. We'll see what kind of response we get, but that seems like a pretty European one. I want a bunch of Europeans walking my website. There are a few in the list that are one word, even though it says at the top that a phrase can't be one word. Hey, don't get all technical. We're going to take away one of these numbers over here if you're going to be all fidgety about it. Usually less than, oh yeah, it says a phrase can't consist of one word. Normally. That's totally legit. It's even updated on the internet that way. Happiness comes one view at a time. No, nothing that some internet person came up with on my list. My list are only wholesome olden days words from the pre-befores. Offhand remark. I got offhand comment and remark in here, but hot shot, got that in here. Here's the list. There's another chat over here. Yeah, go get a room. Go tattoo those around other ones. Another chance. Hot lead. Hot lead. Hot lead. Anyone go around saying hot lead to each other? Like, that's hot lead. How'd that album sound? It was hot lead. I'd like to see hot lead used in a sentence. Hot lead. That guy's burning hot lead. What's considered a hot lead? Hot lead? Hot lead. That's the name of a movie. What is a hot lead? Yeah, that's why I'm reading it, like a hot lead, and then hot lead. I kind of know what like back in the olden days, they would say like something about hot lead, but I don't remember it. I'm not picturing it in a sentence. Is it a phrase and I just don't know from like the olden days? Where's Bob? The Great Equalizer. How's that a gun phrase? Great Equalizer. I don't know what that is. Something about here. Madonna is telling us that the virus is the great equalizer from her bathtub 2 days ago. It's a quote from Tombstone. What's a quote from Tombstone? Skin that smoke wagon. Well, it's a quote from the old days. I know that olden days they used to say "skin that smoke wagon." I know, but I'm saying, I just didn't remember if it was a phrase or if it was a thing. I think. I'm your Huckleberry. Well, he says it in that one TV show, or I mean that one movie, but I don't know if he ever actually says it. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. So that's that. Devil's watering pot. What are we talking about there? I don't know that one. Devil's paintbrush? That's something else, I think. I think I've heard of devil's paintbrush for something before, but I didn't. Besides that flower, I mean. Yeah, this gun right here. I think that's where I heard about it. Right? Because they would paint basically with lead. Pistol packing. I got packing lead, packing heat. I mean, they certainly say pistol pack a mom on people that mean something. I think that's a phrase, right? That's not shouldn't be somewhere else. I think I'm putting that in. What the hell? Pistol packing. So if I have to go to edit again, that was DM. Holy crap, 3 of them. If it gets to like more than $10 worth of shipping, we're cutting this whole chat off and I'm deleting it. So there's no evidence of any of this. Pistol packing. I figured there'd be like one. This would be like an hour of me sitting here gloating that I got this great list that nobody could challenge. Fortune. Real satisfied. All right, so that's the third one for DM Greed. Oh, DM Boss. I'm happy that you're getting these things, and I got a shit ton of patches, so don't even worry about it. I don't know what the hell Glover's talking about with them flowers, or if it's something else. Yeah, I don't know. I'm your Huckleberry. I'd have to go look it up in the. I know I've looked it up before, and it was a saying from the olden days. See, it has something to do with. It was a saying in the 19th century, but it has something to do with like the flowers, and I thought it had something to do with like the coffin or something like that. Usually, the phrase is just to be the right person for the job or the executor of something. I'm gonna probably put one in that's what like movie phrases or something like that. I could probably put something like that in, and then it would go in there. But the goal here, with Minuteman University, of course, is to give us tools and resources, or somebody tools and resources, things to think about. If you're either having a conversation with somebody, trying to have an efficient debate with somebody, or if you're creating content, you're looking for something, like say to add something to a video or something, or thing to have a conversation about. So the phrases, the idea there was so many people want to discount what significance firearms have had in this country. And since this country has had a significant influence in the world, right? Firearms influence in this country means that the firearms have had a significant influence in the world. And they might ignore the fact that interchangeable parts come from the development of Colt making firearms, and that interchangeable parts created the Industrial Revolution, which created the computerized revolution, which got us to where we are today. So we'd literally be, smashing rocks and metal together back in the day if we would have never needed guns or whatever, had Colt making guns. So the phrases being entwined in our words and our phrases and our in our society or whatever, in our culture. That's what I'm looking for. That's what it's all about. And hopefully, somebody will maybe been saying something like baptism of fire their whole lives and never thought about it, or I don't know. That's why we have 192 of them in here. So something like a movie phrase or something is interesting, maybe a little bit more entertaining, but that's why I stuck the phrases in here, and it's why I did that video. It's part of the video series on thinking about guns as what guns are. Chicago Typewriter is a idiom. Yeah, so idioms have an established meaning, but they're not directly linked to the individual words. So, are you packing and give it the full 9 yards? Those are some idioms. And I don't think Huckleberry would even fit in that one. I think idioms are something like Chicago Typewriter, where people just know, or like maybe some of those slinging lead or something like that. That would be an idiom, right? Where are we at? Gun phrases. Chopper. don't know. I think I did have some names for guns in here, like boomstick and stuff. I should probably make a subset or maybe just another page for names of guns. I don't know if chopper. See, chopper is just one word, so I got to go back to is it DTP? Gotta have more than one word. Bullet catcher, singing. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Bullet catcher, meaning same as fodder. I don't think I have that in here. Bulletproof, but yeah, that's basically the opposite of bulletproof, right? I'm putting that in here. I don't think everybody in the world uses that word, but we certainly do. Well, a lot of people certainly do. Where'd it go? It's got to be right here. Bullet catcher. Alright, bullet catcher, and then update, and then that was Chris with 2 now. What was your other one? I got bullet catcher in there, and I don't know what the other one was, but I've been writing down what everybody's are now. Shooting spree. Really? 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 Here's the thing about human beings. I'm not perfect, and even though this list might be perfect, I'm not putting fucking shooting spree in there. So, put it in there. Shooting his mouth off. I got shoot your mouth off. So that one's just tough because of, the aim. But close. I know you got it closer to that one than some of the other ones. Spray and pray. Yeah, here, let me get that link out there for the people that aren't even looking at the list. So we'll go to the link and click on that, and there's that link again, so you can look at the list. But I know some of you on phones or whatever. Let's see. List again, thank you. Some variations. What I have is he's a straight shooter. I think I got straight shooter in here, don't we? Because that's one again that people might not even think about it, and they say straight shooter all the time. The best is when the gun prohibitionists bring up gun ones in their like rants. It's awesome. Want to be like that guy that goes, like there should be some little librarian. We need a 2A librarian lady to come up there and go, excuse me, but you just said shooting your mouth off, and that triggers me. I said trigger. I triggered myself. Something like that. Some variations. What you said there, straight shooter. Yeah, we got straight shooter. Yep. Reholstering. Yep, I got that before. We got flash in the pan. That's one of the ones that starts it off too. I don't think too many people say flash in the pan anymore, but I think that's one of the best examples. But yeah, that one's in there. Close to your mouth. I don't know if that one's in here. Does people say that? They say holster it though. They do say holster it. So I'm going to say holster it and leave it like that because that's not in here. Because, if somebody's wiggling something around, they'll be like, hey, holster that. But I have heard people say holster your mouth. So, boom. It's 3 now. Right on. So there's another one. It's only taken us 1 hour, and we've added shit. Where was it at? I didn't take a snapshot of this at the beginning. Dang it. It was like 180 something before though. 184 or something. Google Glock leg syndrome. I know you're likely a Glock fanboy. You won't put it on the list. No, it's just not a thing. Nobody goes around like, hey, that's a nice Glock leg you got going on there. There's the link again. Ceasefire. Yeah, people definitely say ceasefire all the damn time, even if they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All cocky before this chat, thinking I had a big ass list, 180 something things, bigger than any other list that was out there. The biggest list out there besides this one is like on 26, bunch of weak ass 9mm lists. I had the biggest list out there. Now it's grown by 10%. Update. So that is DTP, and there, that's up to 3. Dang. There's already 10, 12, 13 patches going out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different places. It's pretty awesome. Is there any other chat today that gave out that many patches to that many people? For nothing? Or yeah, you work for it, you didn't even get it for nothing. You had to work for it. As in eat hot lead. Yeah, actually that is what I've heard that before. So we got eat a gun, which I didn't really want to put in there either, but I am going to put in eat hot lead. Even though it's super ass old in one, but I don't know if I got Tim's address anywhere. So over here, Tim finally got in there. Tim's heart's work went out there tonight. Finally got in there. All right, and okay. Shoot the moon. That's not in here. Yeah, shoot the moon. It's in here. It's just out of alphabetical order. Sorry. It's in alphabetical order. It was out of alphabetical order. It was in there. Slinging hot lead. Well, that's the name of that movie or something, right? Well, there's also shooting hot lead. Damn, I should probably just call it hot lead and not eating hot lead. I'm just going to call it hot lead and leave it as hot lead. So you can go stuff in front or stuff behind. And then it'll go hot as a pistol, hot lead, then hotter than a shoot on a pistol. And then I think I've heard hot as lead, or am I crazy now? It starts happening when you start playing with 180 something phrases. You start getting wigged out on them. But it's hot as lead. Is that a thing? Anyway, one in the pipe. Interesting. Nope, they don't have that one in here. Or I don't have that one in here. So does that get you on the board for the first time? Yep. Even Fuds can score. And then I gotta go. Dang it. Where was it? The fuck is this pingbot shit? Look how many steps you have to click on to block somebody. back am I? One in the pipe. Where the fuck back here? All right. Over here. Over here. Here we go. Oh, it's definitely more than before. All right. How about 88 Magnum that shoots through schools? That's definitely a movie quote or whatever. I don't know if I'm going to do a movie quote one, honestly. I'm not trying to build like a comprehensive list of things that say guns in them. Like I was explaining before, this list originated as an effort to put a resource out there that we can use as gun owners to show somebody there's quite a difference. Actually, I was doing it as I was coming up with the list, right? I'm thinking, what else is there? What other aspect of society that has, let's go find out how many again. I have to go to here and click number, go down here. It's at 199. So whoever comes up with the next one is the 200th phrase, right? You will be coming up with the 200th phrase, assuming that it's one in here. Look how many more there are. Assuming that there's one in here, you'll be the 200th phrase. So the idea is that we collect this list of phrases or what, but then think about it, like literally automobiles, schools, like knives, flags, like what is there that has 200 phrases in the in English society or culture, whatever the hell our language is, in our language? Like I think it might be I don't know. Is it the most ingrained thing? I don't know if there's a list of all the car phrases, but as I was coming up with them, you end up with like 20 of them and you can't come up with any more. You just you can't stop coming up with gun ones though. There's just a ton of them. And we've been using them forever. Smith & Wesson is the great equalizer. That's maybe a marketing campaign or something. So make 46. Those are bumper stickers. That's, I don't know what the hell they call that. That's a slogan or some sort of, I mean, is that Rhode Island's license plate or something? That's more of like, I don't know what that is. Oh, is that, I don't think it's a phrase. I think it's longer than a phrase for sure. Maybe an expression. I think it's an expression, so I'm snagging it. Keeping these expressions. Since we didn't have any kind of written agreement about these expressions, I'm just keeping them. There we go. Hang on. Oh, that was way before. 18 meals. There it is. Move out of the gun, die by the gun. Boom, copy. Go back over here. Go cancel, update. Go back over here. Go back to expressions. Edit. And I'm putting it in there. That's an expression. I'm pretty sure that's an expression for sure. Boom. And then back to his phrases like nothing happened. No one even knows I stole that from you now. All right. So next would be Devil's paintbrush and Devil's watering can is a Gatling gun. Is it a Gatling gun? I thought it was some weird Europe gun. I guess it could have been a Gatling gun. I never heard of the Devil's watering can, but I guess that makes sense. Mexican carry? That's racist. That's going to be one of our things. I'm going to go ahead and steal that real quick, but that's one of our things. What are we calling that? We're calling that a jargon. I'm stealing that and sticking it in jargon. Nobody's getting paid for jargons. I'm paying out way too many patches at this point. I'm just stealing this kind of stuff. Pick it up with my lawyers. You pick it up with my attorneys. And then we'll go back over here. Oh my goodness. So then we'll go back down to here. Separate life. Yeah, separate place. I'll put in a separate place for that stuff. 6 gun. And that's the thing we say about guns. And it's the way that people describe guns. But I don't think people go around like, I don't think 6 gun means anything else or anything. I don't think people use it. Except for when they're looking for something that rhymes or something, right? Hog leg, same kind of thing. Big bore. I think we got big bore in here though. But big bore is definitely one of them. Oh snap, we don't. Snap. Hemorrhaging patches at this point. I think Tim's got 2 now. So, dang. Another one. Big bore. Unless I'm crazy, big bore. Big bore might come from something besides guns because bore's technically just bore, right? But how else were they measuring in bores that commonly besides guns, right? And we definitely consider it a gun thing now. But it's 2. And then let's see. Gary, I can't remember anymore what yours was. It was something. You were the first one, right? Oh snap! And then does that make Tim the 200th? Yep, Tim is the 200th with big bore is the 200th. Very well, very good. And then let's see. So Gary, I don't know what your one was. Southpaw, I got spraying lead, but I don't know what your other one was. Chris, I got bullet catcher and holster but I don't got the other one, whatever your first one was. Everybody else, I got everybody's. So DTP, I got dual wielding and ceasefire, but I don't have your first one because I wasn't counting until like 100 of you came up with answers already. So I'll just leave the numbers on so we can keep the count going. Storm of bullets, hail of lead. Dang it. I think I got either of those in here. Air trigger. Dang it, hail of lead is a good one too. Hail of lead. HAIL. And there's Chris. Now it's going to be a battle of who has most of these. It's going to have contributed most to the list. And then storm of bullets. Because you could say hail of bullets or hail of. I'm going to do it like that. Hail of lead. And I'm going to put bullets, etc. Because sometimes it's other stuff. And then storm of is basically the same thing, right? Except more. Yep. That's 2 of them. Storm of bullets and lead. If anybody disagrees with any of these, feel free, and then we'll have some sort of a face-off, some sort of a chat room challenge where you can sort of a court of opinion to see if one of these should be in here or somebody's milking the deck. Update. Shit, so that's 2. So there's another one. So hail of lead, storm of lead, and then now that's 5. So Chris is at 5. Gary's at 1. DTP is at 3. Southpaw is at 2. Chris is at 5. Foss is at 3. Noxious has 1. Tim has 2. And Clover's got 1. Not over yet. And at the end, we'll have created the most lengthy list of gun phrases in the world. Heater, that's one word. Heater. Yeah, that's going to be in some kind of a list of words that mean guns, but that's not this list. Mouse gun, mouse caliber, pea shooter. Pea shooter, maybe. Pea shooter for sure, right? P-E-A, right there. Boom. Pea shooter. Pea shooter. Boom. So that brought Tim to 3. Now, Mouse caliber? No. Mouse gun, on the other hand, I think we say that for sure. Would a regular person ever say mouse gun? I'm keeping it, but I'm going to shove it over here to jargon, because that's us. I think we're the only ones saying mouse gun. Oh, I got synonyms for gun right here. Dang it. So we'll go through that, whatever you all have been saying, but I'm pretty sure I got them all, because look how many I got. I got 34 already. You think you can come up with some new synonym for gun that I ain't already got? Crazy. So we're putting that under jargon. Mouse gun. Good. That's a nice one. So we'll go back out to the world. We'll go back over to. Let's go in here and just get rid of this real quick. Synonyms for gun. So I've already come up with the synonyms for gun. We'll go backwards to this list real quick from where we are. So we're at the last. We're DTP is about to say crack shot. So we got heater. I got heat right there. Same thing as heater. Hog leg. Oh, we don't have hog leg in there. So we're going to edit that page. And we're grabbing hog leg. Of course, I'm stealing that because there's no agreement made. Yeah. All right, so that's hog leg. 6 gun. 6 gun, we already had it. Mexican carry, we put that under the thing. Slinging hot lead. Hot lead, we don't got hot lead in here. I'm going to put hot lead in here though, because I think some people would call hot lead a gun. And not the book. Heat hot lead, ceasefire, flash in the pan, chopper. Don't have chopper. I'm stealing it. How far up is that chopper? Chicago typewriter could probably go in here too, but it goes under the other thing because it's not even really a thing. Devil's paintbrush. Now I'll put that in here. So I don't think it's in here. Again, not paying anybody for these. I'm stealing them. No previous agreement. So I'm talking about that. Pistol packing, devil's watering pot. I never heard of that one. Hot shot, offhand. Lead sprayer. I'm going to put that in here. Shooting fish in the barrels. And then smoke wagon. Smoke wagon. Do we already have smoke wagon in here? Nope. Full tilt boogie. I'll put clock leg syndrome in under whatever. So I'll update this. I'll tell it to flip to numbers 40. Go back to here. Switch this number to 40. Update it. Go back over here. Go back to jargon. And I'll add clock leg in here because I am scared to put clock leg in here. I just want to put it in under a phrase, so I don't think anybody actually says that anymore. Except for clock haters. Clock haters say to each other all the time, "What's your clock leg wiggling?" I got floppy clock leg. Something like that they say. All right, so now we're going back down to DTP said something. Heater, right up from here. With a name like Pingbot, we assume that you're a some kind of weird, what do you call it? Bot? Oh yeah, you got bot in your name. How are you even able to type in here if you're blocked? Yeah, here, trigger. Crack shot. Don't give up, dude. Here we go. Crack shot. Where are we at? Phrases. Crack shot. How do I not have crack shot in here? Nice. Hello on block leg syndrome. Here we are, crack shot. Dang. Dang, I can't believe they had Deadeye in there, but not crack shot. That's pretty good. How hard are these to come up with? Or is it simple? Oh, they obviously don't have this in there. Oh, they don't have this in there. What was that, DTP? Up to 4 now. And I still need to know if you remember your first one. Itchy trigger finger. That's interesting. I'm going to put it in here. I think people say that shit all the time, right? So, yep. Oh, ping. I didn't put Clovers in here. What was Clovers? I don't know who Tactical Mustache is. Tactical Mustouche? Whoever Tactical Mustouche is, I don't know who that is. Let's see. Sharpshooter, that's got to be in here. Update. There we go. Sharpshooter. What? Are you kidding me? This list sucked. It was the worst list ever. I should have never done this. This is a horrible experiment. What time is it? Why am I hearing that noise? Like a truck going by. Sharpshooter. How the hell is it up to 100? Oh, no, it's 180 before. Right on. So that was Foss getting up to 4. I'm glad I started typing or putting in here whose was whose, because otherwise I would have never remembered whose was whose. Then I have to watch my own video over again. That's horrible. I never do that. There's John giving up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Your trigger. We got to have that in here. Yeah, hair triggers. Number 67. Yeah, I've heard people say holster your mouth too. Did he say it to you at gunpoint? No. Firing squad? That's a thing. Dang. Another one. It's going to be a competition here. Firing. EFGHI, like this. Boom. And then that was Foss. So that makes it 5 for Foss. And I still only know what your first one was. Okay, so we're up to 1 with Gary. That I don't know what it is because I can't remember. It was back in the beginning. It was the first one, I think. Right? Gary, the first one. And then DTP, it's got 4 of them, but I only know 3 of them. Southpaw's got 2. I only know 1 of them. Chris has got 5. I only know 4 of them. Foss has got 5, so it's tied up. And I only know 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. No, I have all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got all of Foss's. Obnoxious has 1. Tim has got 3 in there now. Clover's got 1, and Tactical Mastouche has 1. I did see you had Hold Your Fire, which is close to Ceasefire. Hold Your Fire is totally different, but I hear what you're saying. At least I think it's different. Ceasefire means like stop. Hold Your Fire means like hold off a second. You might go right back to firing, right? I think that's what it is. You ain't got no patches because you ain't working. Everybody else is holding up their end here. Some of these people have gotten half a dozen almost patches, patches and entries. Don't shoot till you see the white rise. They already got that one in there under whatever. Rain of Fire. Yep, somebody got that one in earlier today. Oh no, I totally blocked that dude. Pingbot, what the fuck? Come at me with a name like Pingbot? What the hell was his answer? Something weird. So, yeah, you got pinged. Here, guess what? It's a platform that lets anybody abusing. You know how many abusing accounts come after me every day? Make another account with a non-weird name and be part of the conversation about what the fuck. I want an anonymous account or an anonymous platform. Use a weird name. You get all offended first time somebody who's trying to have a conversation. Enough said. No TP at Walmart today, yeah. I don't know about that. They had paper goods at our stores every morning, they say. They just ration it. Shot Tower? I don't think anybody said Shot Tower. Does anybody say Shot Tower? I can't think anybody said Shot Tower. But I see what you're saying. If they opened at 6, because they open at 6 here, yeah, they're probably out by 8 because there's usually still whatever. The amount they have, they ration it out 1 per person, but then it goes to the first people that show up for sure. That's a nicer way of seeing it. Edge carry. Gun down. Yeah. Is there just one end and gun? All right, so that is now 4 for Tim. Drugstore Cowboy? That's the Cowboys, but Cowboys have more than guns. They got horses and ropes and saddles and spurs and shit. So, Cowboys ain't all just guns. What is all this? HK are still. What the fuck is all this? Go out with a bang. I got go with a bang, so I'll put out in there, but I'll put it like this. Because sometimes I think you want sometimes to go out with a bang, but sometimes, you go off with a bang or whatever. I'll do it like that. Oh, it's a guy from Seattle that broke into pharmacies. Oh, really? So you know which I got for a number of patches. Go Nuclear. Oh, no, I didn't pick Go Nuclear though. Bullet Catcher? That was probably the first one. No? Close to your mouth. Did I put go nuclear in there? No, I didn't put go nuclear in there. Storm of bullets. Oh, I don't have go nuclear in here though. Pocket gun? I'm thinking that's one of ours. I don't think they ever call it a pocket gun. I'm trying to think of if any gun prohibitionists has ever called it a pocket gun. Oops, what am I doing? Go to I'm calling that one ours. We call them pocket guns. Trial by fire? I thought that one's in here. Oh, you know what it is? You know what it is? That one is not real. That one's not a gun one. That's why. That's one of the ones that I remember going, oh yeah, it kind of seems like guns, but it ain't. Anyway, it has to do with before that they would burn people or something. Ghost gun, huh? I mean, I guess it's becoming more of one. I'm going to go ahead and put it under ours, under jargon, and somebody could try to change my mind on it, but LHL. I think that it's our word. And they might try to use it once in a while to be gun prohibitionist as, but I don't think they're saying that yet. We're scared of them, but I'm going to wait till I call it an actual gun phrase yet. Because I'm not trying to load the thing with just any two words that I could come up with either. Because it's kind of the point is to impress somebody with like, oh, these are things I've actually heard of before. Maybe something from the Old West or whatever to reinforce that it's been like this for a long time. But I'd really like it to have a bunch of things that they might have actually heard of before. Like, oh, I'm out of ammo. Like somebody might, you know, that makes sense to them. That means a lot, right? That gets a lot of message across. Well, whatever. I'll figure out something. Mare's leg. That's one of ours again. So you're just throwing these out for nothing. I'm just stealing all these. All right, so shot caller. Is that from us? I don't know if that's from us or if that's a basketball thing. That's the only time I've ever heard it, is what I mean. Or no, actually, they say it in pool too, right? Person calling the shots is the person who made power to pull decisions. He would call his shot. What's the origin of the figure of speech? He is the one who calls the shots. That means he's the one who's in charge. But what's the origin? Fairly recent. 1967. 1943. That's a whole lot of research. I don't know. What do y'all think? Arms and Man. Make sure the groups in which I can call the shots. Well, shit. Arms and Man is one of the NRA's. It was one of the magazines that came out of the books that were written by the guys that created the NRA, and part of the curriculum turned into the American Rifleman magazine. Basically, like as they were writing the curriculum, they figured out that you can't just definitively write everything there is to know about guns. Gun writing is an ongoing process, and as soon as you start, new things happen, and you're going to always be writing about it. And then that one of the initial books turned into Arms and the Man, which was written back in the olden days, and then it eventually got sold to a guy who got sold to a place, and then it was the American Rifleman, and now you get it as a perk for joining the organization. So anyway, that's pretty cool that in 1917, that was one of the first confirmed uses of calling the shots. So I'm putting it in there. I don't care if it ain't. Somebody can, again, attempt to tell me that it's wrong, and then they can sue me. I'm putting it in here anyway. But I could see how somebody could say that somebody could say that it has been around way longer than guns, right? Because you can call the shots on a bow and arrow. You can call the shots on a rock or something, right? Call the shots playing pool, call the shots playing whatever game people played back in the day. So that was Chris. Here at 6. Where are we at? Shot for shot? Dang it. Is that a thing? I think I've kind of heard that before. Figured there'd be like 2 more, 1 more. Figured like that one Gary came up with, and then, all right, that's it. Like Gary left. He came up with the one. He thought he was done. So he left. He figured out all the ones that were missing. His one. He hasn't even been back. Shot for shot is a way to describe a visual work that is transferred almost completely identically from the original work without much interpretation. That's exactly like my cartoons. You could say my cartoons are shot for shot. Like a lot of times I'll get in trouble because people will go, hey, you've taken a carbon copy. You've taken literally, you cut and pasted my image over here. And I'm like, no, I drew that on the cartoon. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. Shot for Shot is a game where 2 males prove their manliness. I'll let you look that one up. Shot for Shot is a remake of Toy Story 2. I'm not giving you Shot for Shot. I've never heard of that one. A dud. Nice. A lot of people's, holy crap, how far back are we? A lot of people's suggestions have been duds, but that was not a dud. I'm pretty sure that comes from guns, right? A dud. I think I'm going to put it under, shit, do I put it under D? Kind of makes more sense to put it under D. I'll do it like this. That is Tim. It's up to 5 now. Thumb the Hammer. Dang it, that's a good one. Is that a thing? You think people say thumb the hammer? I think people do, right? Or am I crazy because I'm a gun guy? I know we say it. If somebody says put your foot on the gas, that's pretty much the same thing. Like somebody's saying that. They're saying that. All right, I'll give it to you. So that's Foss again. That's 6. Got a real competition happening here. Run out of digital ink. Just typing down the score of this one. Gunboat diplomacy. That's already getting that's too far. That's too big. But I hear you. I know what you're saying. But that would have to be if I get into artillery and trains. There's a whole bunch of airplane ones that I didn't put in here. My first one was rapid fire. Clover's one was in the pipe. Thanks. Clover probably fell asleep already. In the pipe. Yours was rapid fire. Typing's like a sucker. I didn't feel like going over and copying and pasting. All right, so Gary's was Top Gun. Oh, snap, thank you. All right. Saturday Night Special? Come on. Telling me I don't have Saturday Night Special in here? Boom, right there. Probably the first one I put in here. Point Blank Range. Dang, that's a good one. Point Blank is already in here, though. I'll put Range at the end. People say Point Blank also. Hold up, stick up, reach for the sky. That's just, what do you call it? Criminal crap. Don't shoot, though. I'm going to put Don't Shoot in there. I think Don't Shoot is one, isn't it? Even though it's a shitty one, stupid criminal one, it is one. So I'm going to put Don't Shoot. I mean, we got to admit there's bad ones in here. Oh, I got Don't Shoot the Messenger. So I'm not putting it in there. I thought you were going to get one past me, but I already got it in there. Let's see. From My Cold Dead Hands, I think we got that one. Well, Cold Dead Hands is something else, actually. Let's see where the whole From My Cold Dead Hands thing comes from. Besides the bumper sticker and Red Dawn. From My Cold Dead Hands is a slogan popularized by All right, well, let's go see if when they peel my cold dead fingers around it. Is that the first time you ever said it? No, that can't be the first time you ever said it. Huh. Are they saying that 1984, the movie, was the first time? No. Huh. Well, this is where the internet failed. Because it certainly has been around longer than 1984. I mean, it's been a bumper sticker and whatnot since the end of the days, but since the beginning of gun shows that I remember. But I mean, he didn't come up with it in freaking 90s, that's for sure. Is it a gun thing? Oh, here we go. Originally, oh, that's the name of some book or something. Interesting. I don't know about that one. I'm going to put it under something else, I think. I got an update. I'm going to go down here and see where we're at. We're at 211 already. So we're going to go up here. We started out with like 180 something, and now we're up to 211. So that's quite a few more. But I'm going to go out here and put expressions. That's where it goes. Definitely. Live by the gun, die by the gun. Like shooting fish in a barrel from my cold dead hands. I think that's where it goes. Some of us use a main posting account and then a journal account. People just talk to you, man. That's my account. Yeah, okay. I don't pay attention that much. Hand cannon. I think that would be a good, what do you call it? Jargon or synonym. Yeah, I don't have it in here. Handgun, but not hand cannon. That's cool. And of course, I'm stealing that because there's no prior arrangement for anything besides phrases. And back to here. Trick shot. Dang it. I don't think that's in here. Yeah, thought these lists were good. These lists suck. I'm going to pull Bernie Sanders at the end of all this, and we're all just going to share the patches. We're just going to share one patch. Trick shot. Trick shot right there. Send patches out to everybody. It's just that a bunch of people coughed on them, if that's okay. If nobody minds that there's a bunch of coughing on them. Now you're up to 7. Yeah, boss just took the lead. Boom, with trick shot. He just trick shotted his way into the lead. Glock 40 problem solver. Yep, people do say that, I guess. Lever gun. I'm gonna just leave that other one open. How about that? How about I just leave the other one open? Because that's a synonym for gun. If I ever heard one. I'll put Glock 40 in there too if you want for a synonym. And oh, we're kicking the crap out of synonyms. Thank you for that. Bunch of free synonyms. Boomstick, that's over there. Well, actually, I've got that in here too. You know where boomstick comes from? Who knows where boomstick comes from? I think. Holy crap, that was a big yawn. At some point, I think trial by fire changed in usage. Seems to have become a military gun thing. I think so also. I think we definitely took it, right? Misfire? No. Misfire came from engines. Wait, no, it didn't. Backfire came from engines. Misfire. But I thought I had misfire in here. Oh my goodness, I don't. Misfire. Well, what happened? Misfire. I got myself into this. So that was Foss with 8 now. He's going to have his own list. Next was Armed and Dangerous, huh? You just stole this from some other list. You went to some other list, probably from like Europe, and you're feeding me some other list. You get fed another list. I don't know. I'm putting Armed and Dangerous in here, even though it's probably could be said it is, you could be like Armed and Dangerous with swords or knives or something, right? Foss is up to 9. I guess you could keep playing. It'd be nice because I'm gonna have more in here. Pistolero? It's just a word. It's just a way of saying gunfighter, right? Maybe I'll put it in here under pistolero. That might even just be some other country's way of saying a pistol, right? Stopping power. There's no such thing as stopping power. You're supposed to not say stopping power. Let's see. Is that hours? That's the question. You know who started the whole stopping power thing, actually? Oh, maybe not. I'm wrong. Concept of stopping power appeared in the 19th century when colonial troops at close quarters found their pistols were not able to stop charging native tribesmen. Huh. We definitely say stopping power for other stuff, right? So I think so. I'm going to put it in here. Although I guess somebody could say that's more of a colloquial thing, the one that doesn't mean the same. That was Chris. So Chris is up to 7. And I'll read that real quick. Line up your shot. I think that's from Guns. Probably could be. That's weird, but I don't know if that one is ours. So I can't give you a line up our shot because I'm not sure about that one. Magic bullet. Dang it. I'm throwing a bunch of good ones out here. Magic bullet would have been to not do this chat and be patchless at the end of it. Magic bullet. Loose cannon. Boom. So that goes to Tim with 6 now. Dang, good. So I thought 180 was good. We're already up to 216. Not even. You guys aren't even trying hard. Just wailing on it. It hasn't even like slowed up. How far back am I? 11:04. I'm 12 minutes behind in the chat. So you guys are kicking the shit out of it. Magic bullet got it. Oh, DTP's out of here. He just came in here, just raped me for 4 patches, and then he's out of here. Just like one of them card sharks that comes in and plays a bunch of fast blackjack, cashes in, out the door. Some kind of Ferrari or whatever. Reference from Red Dumb Bumper Sticker. Yeah, but the speech was from like the 90s. So that's what makes no sense to me. Finger the trigger. I don't think regular people say that, do they? Lead dispenser? We'll call that a gun name, but that's not, nobody says lead dispenser. Maybe back in the 30s. And you're giving me the lead dispenser, pal. Like that. Finger the trigger. I don't know, give me some heads up on that one. That was another big laugh. I'm getting tired already. 2 hours into getting patch raped. Tired. Super tiring. Lead dispenser. Fan the hammer. We already had something about the hammer earlier. Fan the hammer is a thing, though. Yeah, I think it is a thing, actually. That is Foss again in the 10th. Into the breach. Oh, smash. That's, well, kind of is from here, though. I was going to say that's probably for artillery or something. That was a lot of yawning. Into the breach. It's right there. And that was Chris. Holy moly, this has been nonstop. There's a ton of them. Not with a bag bang, but with a whimper. That's like a speech or something, wasn't it? Tap, rag, bang. That's just a thing to say. Dead to rights. Yeah, but that's not guns. Banana clap. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think that might be a thing, but I don't know what to call it. I guess it's not really a phrase. I'm gonna put it under here because it's not really a gun, but people do say that kind of weird stuff. Plus, that doesn't cost me a patch when I shove it up. High caliber? Dang it. I don't think that has anything to do with that, though, but I'm going to find out. I think high caliber has something to do with other types of calibers. Definition. Very skilled, large bore, having a large diameter. Origin. Degree of mental caliber is a measurement that describes an ability. It might be high caliber marksman when used in what do you call that? What's another word for origin? I guess I'm not finding it. I don't know if that comes from us. I think that might be from caliber. Because caliber is the quality of something, and caliber is what we call this. So I think it's high caliber is that quality. I don't think it's gun. Boomstick. Well, he says it in there, but I think it could have shown before that, way before that. Repository of knowledge. Yep. Knockdown power. I guess that is technically a different thing. And it would really be a car that they're talking about there, so I'm going to give it to us. And again, somebody might have an exception with one of these, but hopefully they're not too crazy. Another one for Foss. That's 11. That's 11. As soon as I get to 11 yawns, I'm ending it. I yawn and then I cough. So it's killing me. Lead on steel? I don't know what that means. Put lead down range. I know we say that a lot. You know, I am going to. It's not a synonym for guns, but I'm calling it jargon. might pull a couple of these over to jargon, actually. Maybe we'll have to do another chat and see how many of these might be jargon, because I don't want, my goal isn't to clutter it with a bunch of ones that people want to split hairs on. But at this point, it's 219. The goal is to try to contrast it with other other aspects of society that might have, ingrained themselves into our language as much, and maybe to use that as an illustration to somebody that how can guns be so bad when we've literally had them around forever? They're literally part of our way we talk to each other. And there goes Chris. Thanks for joining. Oh, look at the wrong one. There goes Chris. Thanks for joining. You can just send me one patch right on. Thanks. Appreciate it. Ammo dump. Oh, snap. Yeah, that kind of is one, I think. This is up to 12, and you're going to win because not only are you ahead, but everybody else is falling asleep. So it's sort of like when a bunch of people have to stick their hands on a gun, and then at the end of the day, whoever still got their hands stuck on the gun wins. I'm not saying you're winning a gun and they're all falling asleep and they're not going to win a gun because they fell asleep. I'm just saying the people that are asleep, because there's no way they could possibly win a gun, right? There's no way they could win a gun if they're asleep. Ammo dump, running gun, nah. Way of the gun, nah. Way of the gun is just way of the sword with a gun in there. Over here. Sorry, keep going. You shoot and then Peacemaker. No, that's definitely one of the ways that they call gun. Go back over to synonyms. They had peace and they had pea shooter, or I put pea shooter in it, but they had peace. We had peace and we had. Well, this is how we had peace, but we didn't have Peacemaker. Right on. So boom. I think with that we'll wrap it up. Where are we at with time? Oh yeah, right around 2 hours. Everybody left. Everybody fell asleep because they couldn't handle this much guns and language. But holy awesomeness. I figured we'd get like one or two. We got way more than, we got like 40. There's 220 in this list right now. That's awesome. So hopefully it's a useful thing when the AIs in the future go to look at this. It'll be right there for them. They'll figure it out in a moment. They'll have immediately all the different gun phrases out there in one spot. We've made life much easier for a microsecond of the future AIs. I think our 2 hours spent here tonight as humans was useful. We worked for the robots in a good way, an efficient way. They'll like that. So thanks everybody for showing up. Let's go look at some of the scores over here. We got Gary Gizzard, who isn't here right now, who got first with Top Gun. So his first answer, first of the night, was a Top Gun answer. DTP sneaked in here with 4 of them: Rapid Fire, Dual Wielding, Ceasefire, and Crackshot. Southpaw refused to tell me what his first one is, but his second one is Spring Lead. Then Chris came in with 8 of them: Bullet Catcher, Hold Your whatever, Hail of Lead, or no, Holster Your whatever, and then Hail of Lead, Storm of Bullets, Shot Caller, Stop and Power, and Into the Breach. And then he went to bed. Then, because he was head-to-head with Foss at some point. Foss comes in with the win with 12 of them, a cool dozen. Chain Fire, Suppressed Fire, Packing Pistol, Sharpshooter, Firing Squad, Thumb the Hammer, Trick Shot, Misfire, Armed and Dangerous, Fan the Hammer, and Ammo Dump. It's like he had a secret, separate list somewhere. And then you got Obnoxious coming in with, well, I guess 2. Smoke Wagon and Knockdown Power. Was that Obnoxious, or did I put one in the wrong place? Did I put one of Foss's in? Oh, I did. Look at, there's Knockdown Power right there. Obnoxious tried to steal Knockdown Power from you, dude. Look, can you see this? without showing anybody's emails. Look at this. It's right there. Obnoxious. I just switched that from 1 to 2 because he put this right here. And then where it should be is right there. So that just happened. Oh shit, you can see Matt's email address on there. Don't tell Matt I see him showing everybody's email address. So that was Obnoxious coming in with just 1 smoke wagon. Then you got Tim coming in with 6, although I don't even know how many suggestions you threw in there, like 1,000. So 6 of them are Eat Hot Lead or whatever. Hot Lead, I made it down to Big Bore. Why do I have 200th in there? Oh, you were the 200th one, that's why. Pea Shooter, Gun Down, Dud, and Magic Bullet. Nice set of them there. And Clover snuck a fun one in there in the pipe. And then he didn't get the breach. He let Chris get into the breach later. So he was tired. He just left it within the pipe. Oh, you know why? Because he's got a pipe. He probably was just saying something like he was telling that guy's wife, I need some tobacco in the pipe. And he typed it in the wrong chat and he won a patch just by accidentally typing in the wrong thing. And then you got Tactical Mustache, itchy trigger finger. So he's got an itchy finger. Put it in front of the trigger. Want a free patch. All right, so let's go back over here. Foss is saying you can pay for shipping. Right on. Bullet sponge. We had bullet catcher. I don't think I've heard anybody say sponge. Marines say stuff like that, but regular people don't say shit like that. Lead farmer. I thought about that one. I don't think regular people say stuff like that. So I'm going to put lead farmer under, I guess I'm going to just put it under here, under lead dispenser and lead sprayer as a synonym for a gun owner or shooter or whatever, but I'm not going to, that's not really a phrase that anybody except gun owners use. Wood furniture. I don't think that's enough of a gun one. I mean, it is technically, but you know what I mean? Saying wood furniture is like you walk up to anybody in the world and say, what's wood furniture? They're going to say like that chair or that table or whatever. Empty chamber. I think we got that. Well, I don't know if that's so much a phrase. We've got like, I don't have empty anything actually. Yeah, because people say empty cylinder. I'm going to say, all right, I'll give you that one. Is that your first one? Yeah. All right. EM, I guess right here. Didn't have very many E's, so another E anyway. And that means I need to change this to 221. Oh man, if we get 2 more, it'll be a good gun number instead of 221, which is not a good gun number. Empty chamber and gun runner is in smugglers. I mean, it is, I guess. Isn't a phrase. Have you ever heard anybody saying anything like, that's just like a gun runner? You know, like, oh, that guy's going into that board meeting, guns a-blazing. That makes sense. People say that. And like, oh, he's running that into that meeting like, you know, he's moonshining or something like that. Makes sense. But like he's a gun runner. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there. I guess it's possible somebody could say something. We'll have to go through and look at this list. Let's see, who was that? That was Tim. So now Tim is up to 7. Empty chamber, shooting blanks. I think we got shooting blanks in here. What? How come we not? Oh yeah, we got shooting. It's super itchy. Hold on. Oh, itchy eyes of symptom because I got a super itchy eye. What the fuck? Yeah, it's because I'm getting tired. We got shooting blanks. I think we have actually a couple of different shoot blanks also. I thought it was I don't know what that means. Left of center, shooting left of center. I don't know. Is that an actual saying? I know we say it. Is that something some people say? Where does that come from? Why is my eye so damn itchy? Now my eye hurts. I was itching my eye so much that it hurts now. Shooting left to center. Origin. Origin of phrase. I don't know. I guess I'll put it in. It's fast. Make sure Obnoxious doesn't steal that one from you. So there's 13. And that also means this is one higher. Now we're at 222. That's a caliber. Cold steel. No. Zeroing in. Oh, snap. Nope. Once again. Oh, I know what I'm going to do at this point. I'm going to do some sort of a challenge between a bunch of people who think they're so good and see if they can beat Foss. Don't let me forget to try the Beat the Foss challenge. Let's see. Bullseye. Got it. Bullseye. Yeah, bullseye. It's in here. Just in there in 2 words is all. Straight shooter. You're not allowed to type that into Google. How dare you? What if somebody was straight? What do you think would happen if a person who was of the straight persuasion read that? Do you think they would feel good? You're calling them a straight shooter? Persecuting them? Straight shooters in here. So my list is already non-culturally whatever. What was that? With Yankee, Bullseye, blowing smoke? I don't think blowing smoke is guns. Maybe it is. Dang it, kind of maybe it is. Got blown away. Is blowing smoke guns? Blowing smoke. Origin. Blowing smoke up your arse today in a figure of speech when composing another instance. Most of the time, blah, blah, blah. that has, this is, I don't know, is that real? I've heard of that too, but I don't think it's that. This says it's from magicians who would blow a little smoke when they perform their magic. And I think it's just really difficult to blow smoke into a butt. So that's why they say blow smoke up your butt. But I don't think it has anything to do with that. Eagle eye? I don't know about eagle eye. Where that comes from. If someone has an eagle eye, they're good at noticing things. Yeah, see, that's just more of the fact that they're good at looking at stuff. Steady aim? Well, yeah, I know. Guess what? I'm in Yankee Marshall's chat. I think I've been in every one of the ones that he calls that, except for when it's a bit asleep or something. Off the mark. No, that might be one. Is that an idiom? What's an idiom? An idiom is a group of words established by usage, having a meaning and not deducible from those of the individual words. Rain, cats, and dogs. See the light. Dang it. So some of those phrases are going to be idioms, and I don't know any of you all patches. So now that we've figured out there's a whole nother word I didn't know about, I feel like half of these are idioms. In fact, I'm going to say a whole shit ton of these are idioms. So I get out of this legally, talking to my lawyer as soon as this chat's over. Origin. To you people giving me idioms, acting like they're phrases and shit. We're still friends and stuff. It's just that I just don't know any patches. Origin. Get off the mark. In a sporting contest, when someone gets off the mark or they score for the first time, the goal was blah, 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 blah. That's some sports thing. It has nothing to do with us, even though we use it. It's a sports thing. Going commando. Nope. Good night, all. Never heard of that one. Everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving. Everybody's out of here. Four left. That's it. We're out of here. Smoke cloud, something to do with that. Eat or be yeeted. Yeah, right. I think we're done. So with that, that was about 2 hours, 20 minutes for 2A. We came up with 222-ish, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to flip over to here. We're going to scroll down. 224. If I delete one, it'll be 223. I'll just put 223 in there anyway, because nobody's going to sue me for that. And then, boom, we just added another 40 something of these things tonight. I will use some sort of legal loophole and not have to send anybody anywhere near as many patches as they are actually due. But if I wasn't going to scam out of it, we're talking 1, 4, 2, so that's 7, 15, 29, 30, 37, 38, 39, and 40. We would be talking 40 patches would have gone out today if I wasn't going to scam out of it. So more than likely I'll be sending out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packages tomorrow. That's $30 worth of packages. So I appreciate everybody who joined us and helped contribute to the collaboration of a list of impressive magnitude. No one on the entire internet has 223 gun phases. Although I'm sure you guys worked a lot of idioms into there, we have mostly gun phrases. And now in the future, all generations, when somebody comes around and goes, guns aren't important or guns aren't so good, you can go, pretty sure we have 223 gun phrases in our English language that we use on a regular basis. And you can shove that logic right into the conversation and win for 2A. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be back to pick you up later.